Looks like Gemini has added a desktop app for Mac, and let's see if we know what's going on here. So if you go to Google the keyword, there is kind of a marketing PR announcement that says the Gemini app is now available as a native Mac OS experience, bringing you a faster, more integrated way to get help from AI right on your desktop. And then it goes into some of the brief comments that you might want to know to spark your interest. And so it says Gemini app to Mac OS desktop experience. It shares a couple nice visuals, talks about how this is going to help you stay in your flow, talks about a quick shortcut, and then it tells you to go to Gemini Google Mac. And then so when you go to Gemini Google Mac, you see an option to download. And then this also tells you a little bit more kind of the marketing stuff about helping you where you need it, and reiterates the shortcut and talks about contextual help and shows you what it may look like, and talks about how it will help you with the creativity. And if you go all the way down, this is the frequently asked questions. I like to read the frequently asked questions because it tells you stuff that you need to know that you forget to ask, and then you're stuck in a pickle because you don't know the answer to something. This is a good thing. FAQs are a good resource. Anyway, so in here it says, is it available in my country? It answers it, but it doesn't answer it here. It says it's available at no cost in all languages and countries where the Gemini app is supported. So technically, I guess if you have the Gemini app on your phone or on another device like a Windows or Chrome OS or something like that, then you know you have it. You can also look it up. It says the app requires Mac OS Sequoia 15 or later and runs exclusively on Apple Silicon. So that's the M1, M2, M3, M4. And what else does it tell you? What are the ways to access Gemini on the Mac? And then it talks about the shortcuts. Again, they're really emphasizing the shortcuts. Talks about the menu bar and the application dock. So the menu bar is up here. Application dock is usually down here. And then so how can I share my screen's contacts with the Gemini? I sound like Bush, the Google, the Gemini. So to give Gemini context about your current work, you can click the Add Files tool. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. Select Share Window, and it's sharing the window. And that means, what does it mean? It means that it's more than just your Gemini and Chrome, because you can share anything that you have, any kind of app, and you can ask it questions. Now, here's an important piece. Gemini will use what's visible on your screen to tailor its answers. To let it read full pages in the browser, go to your Mac system settings, privacy and security, and enable accessibility for Gemini. And notice it says browser, but it does work with your apps too. And so can I use the same account across desktop, web, and mobile? Yes, you can. You just have to be logged in. And then where can I get help or learn more? You can go visit the Help Center. This will come in handy later. And I think I already have that open, so let's see. So I do have it open, so I'm not going to open it again. And so the Help Center is support.google.com. And then you find the tool that you want, and we are in Gemini Apps Help. This actually gives you a little more information about installing. Basically, you do it like you always do any application for Mac. You download it, you open it, it's a DMG, you drag it to your applications folder, and it installs it. And then so some of the things that you got to look for though. So when you're doing this, after you install it, you need to make sure that there are certain settings that are enabled. And so those settings are enabled in your privacy and security settings. So click on privacy and security settings and go to which ones? Accessibility. It mentioned accessibility, so click on accessibility and look for Gemini. And if you see it, make sure it's on. If you don't see it, go down here, click to add it. All right, and then the other one you got to do, so let's go back. We're still in privacy and security, and we're going to go to screen recordings and audio, I think. Screen and system audio recording. Click on it, make sure Gemini is there, and make sure it's on. If it's not, go to the plus, find it, and add it. And then I don't think you need this. I have this turned off for now, but I had it there just in case. All right, so those are the privacy settings that will need to be enabled for your Gemini app to work completely. All right, so now what do you got to do? Now you just play with it. So you have it installed, you checked your settings, you think you're good, and it says, what can you do with the Gemini app? And it tells you right here, there's a couple things you can do. So remember the part about the shortcuts. The shortcuts are in here, but it gave you 2 shortcuts. So let me see if I can remember. One was Option spacebar, and that's this. And so it's just a small mini window. You can expand it. You got the microphone if you want to talk to it. It's on the fast option. We'll leave it for that for now. And it says type in here to ask. And then you have a plus. So let's click on plus. And now when you look at it, it's very similar to your other devices. But notice it says share window. So right now it says that we can share the Google Chrome window. And let's go ahead and do that. And notice it popped up a little bit, and this tells you right here what it's sharing. So I'm just going to ask, can you summarize this page? Let's do that. And so now I'm going to expand this for a split second. Now it's reading it. It's showing you a screen capture of what it is looking at. So you know what it's looking at. And then you see an explanation. It says this page explains how to use the Gemini app on Mac OS. You can launch it from the applications folder. Keyboard shortcut allows for quick access. And then it talks about same thing. It tells you almost everything that's right here. So now I'm going to say, can you create a draft email for my friend Mac? Make it fun and about this app. I'm gonna grab a sip of soda real quick. All right, while it's doing that, I am gonna open Word. I'm just gonna make sure this is open right now. All right, so it answered it, and again, I can expand this a little bit more if I want to make it bigger, but I'm just trying to demonstrate it. Say, hey Mac, just found a cool new tool for your computer. Google has a Gemini app for Mac. It is pretty handy. It talks about some of the things it can do, and I can copy it right here if I want, and then I can listen to it and I can report it. And then if I want to look at the sources that were used, I can look at the sources. It's talking about these PNGs up here. All right, so now if I don't want to use that, I'm going to close it, and I'm actually going to change to thinking, and I am going to see what else I can share. So I opened Word. So now I can access Word. And so I'm going to go ahead and access Word. And it says sharing. And let me see if I can move this over. There we go, so you can see it. All right. And let's see, it says sharing. That's all it says. But let's see if I can ask. I am looking for a file I recently opened about skill review. Do you see it? I don't really need thinking for this. I'm just testing. So now it's locating the relevant documents, trying to find it. Now it's only going to find what it can see. And yes, the file name Rhonda Waldrop WD 221 skill review. So it does it. So now I'm going to go ahead and open Word. And I am going to say, save button. Can you help me find it? Locate it, describe location. It'll do it anyway. And if there is an icon, describe that. I don't have to do all that. I'm just trying to help it out a little bit. So a couple other things you can do is you can show your other chats if you want. You can start a new chat. I should start a new chat for the Word thing. Kind of doesn't make sense to keep it on the other one. You can share the conversation with a link. And then you got the 3-dot menu. You can open it in browser. You can pin it. You can rename this chat and you can delete it. And of course you can make it smaller again. So save button is not on the screen. This view allows you to open recent files or start new work. You will find save command once you open the actual document. All right, so what it didn't do was it did not change the view. So let me change this. Let me go here and let me share my window again. So now it says document 2. So that was a good learning experience. That doesn't always happen, I think, on my other device, but I could be wrong. So let me try again. Can you re-review and answer my previous question? So now it's looking at this one. So that's the good thing about these screen captures. If you pay attention, it will tell you what it sees. And then so now it says save button is not on the screen. This allows open recent file start. You will find save command once you do that. So that was the original one. So now save button is visible at top left window right here. Just look to the right of auto save right here. Icon appears as a small square floppy disk. So it does do that. All right. So the trick with this one though is if you are used to Gemini Live, this is not Gemini Live. This is Gemini app. And so the things that you can do in Gemini Live, like I could have said, hey, can you go ahead and save this document for me? And in Gemini Live, it would do that. This is not Gemini Live. This is just the Gemini app for Mac. So you have to kind of bounce back and forth in your thinking processes to remember that there's so many options with Gemini, just like there are with Claude and ChatGPT and Copilot. You have to pay attention to what you're in, what it says it can do. That's where the help and the support center come, and what your experiences are. Because everything is named Gemini, you can get confused. It happens to all of us, happens to me all the time. And so you just have to say, oh, I forgot, I'm not in that one. Now, if I want to stop sharing this, let me show you something up here. There's a little icon, and it's basically saying it's sharing. So if I close this out, that icon goes away. So I'm no longer sharing anything. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to close this. And we're going to go back here. And we're going to expand this. And I am going to say thank you for joining me. I hope this helped a little bit. I hope I didn't ramble too much like I am doing right now. Thank you. Enjoy your Gemini app in your Mac. Have a good day. Bye-bye.